Near Lurgan in Armagh, with Christmas coming, it's time for Tony Johnston to cut his trees. The end of November marks the busiest time of his farming year. The harvest begins with trees for the trade market, garden centres and shops.
We work our way from our outlying plantations back in. It is a logistical nightmare. It is a matter of trying to move all the machinery and work out which machines we need where and when, and trying to then get tractors on site to power the hydraulics for the various machines. And we also need the machines back at home when we come to go into the yard and start selling to our customers. But this time of year is always fraught. Sleepless nights, a lot of headaches. You're working long hours, so part of you really doesn't necessarily look forward to it because it is hard work. But the other aspect of it is the harvest is where we want to be. It's the reason we've done all the work all year round. And the first couple of trees in the year getting cut is always a nice feeling to get started onto it again. It's quite a mixed blessing. We don't necessarily look forward to Christmas because of the work involved, but the next few weeks it starts paying dividends and it culminates in the whole year coming to a close. And we're lucky having a yearly product that finishes just before Christmas, so we can start again in the new year. So this year it has been quite a challenging year. We've tagged up quite a number of trees, and when we're coming through here we're actually leaving trees to grow on for another year. And the trade customers haven't really come as quickly as maybe we would have wanted. And that's not just us, that's industry-wide. There's a lot of the growers are having trade customers who have been very slow to confirm and are not necessarily taking as many trees as maybe they once were. And we suspect a lot of that is to do with cheap imported trees. We know that the Europeans have been across selling into the garden centres. They're pushing a lower grade tree in, but they're putting it in at the right price. This year crop is going very well. We're happy with the quality, and we're happy with the mix of trees that we've got. We've no shortage of trees this year, which is good. And you always have that balance between, do you cut every tree that you can to get sold, or do you then obviously think to the future and let that tree grow on? So what we've been doing, because the trade haven't been buying as many trees as maybe we would have hoped for, we're letting our trees grow on. It means that we can increase the quality of them, and it means that we can get some more larger trees. It's not the end of the world. We're lucky. Other farmers, if their crop fails, that's that. They can't do much with it. We're lucky. The trees here, if they don't sell this year, we can still sell them next year, the year after. We're not constrained. The trade harvest will go on now for the next 2 weeks. The main bulk of the trade will go out in the last week in November. We then get the first stock at that stage in for our own retail customers. So they come in at the last minute. And then we will just top up as we need it. So we'll still be cutting trees right the way through until the middle of December. But the pressure's off. We're not having to cut and haul as many new ones. And we will actually be working closer to home. So it's easier to pop out, pick up an extra couple of hundred trees and bring them back into the yard. But we have to have the yard stocked, and we need to have about 400 trees in the yard every day. And come one of the busy weekends in December, we're going to have at least 700 trees cut on the Friday, ready to go.
To cope with muddy ground and any bad weather, Tony's invested in special tracks.
When we're hauling Christmas trees, we've only got 2 or 3 weeks to do it. And if we lose the weather and we can't get the trees out, we're scuppered. We have to keep going. Rain, hail or snow, we keep going. And the tracks are a means of us actually being able to achieve that. And then after Christmas, we can take the tracks off, 20 minutes, unbolt them, put the wheels back on again, and use the wheels for the summer.
Tony's been in the business for a long time, but harvest is still a significant event for him.
It is slightly sad. There are some trees that you will remember, and it tends to be trees that are more prominent or trees that have taken more work. And you do have this little prang that, I don't really want to get rid of this tree, and where's it going to go, and is it going to be okay? But not every tree, and you get over that after the first couple of trees come down. But there is a slight prang. You do look to them a wee bit as your children, and you really want the best for them. But you learn to let go. But when we first started growing Christmas trees, many years ago, the first few that we did sell were hard to cut down. You didn't want to cut them down, but they did have to go.